Mhm. All righty. So today we're going to talk about how your fear of being seen is blocking the flow of money in your coaching business. So, when I first started out as a spiritual life coach, I was really determined to do things the hard way. Okay. I'm just being honest with you. I'm that person who's like, oh, hard work is really good. I wanted to pay my dues and I wanted to really make sure that I was qualified. I wanted to be humble. All right. So, on one hand, I'm kind of being silly right now, but actually, I'm serious. And I know a lot of you can relate to what I'm saying, but it sounds kind of like I was trying to be responsible, like I really care about doing the right thing. But honestly, when I look back, I realized that I was just playing small and avoiding responsibility for my own happiness and success. Now, first of all, I was an awesome coach because I got certified. So I knew that I was an awesome coach. It wasn't that. And even though I wasn't as experienced as I am now, I still had people who really loved working with me from the very first day. So really downplaying my gifts and trying to be humble and trying to pay my dues, that really was a form of hiding. Now, also, I can tell you right now that my internal money blocks were the main cause of these kind of really bullshit beliefs and stories that I was telling in my head. None of it was real. It was about my issues with money, my issues with my self-esteem, my issues with being showing up in the world. There were issues. So I think that every coach really dreams of creating a thriving business, one that's successful financially, but also that feels really good for their soul, right? I mean, you kind of are here because you feel like you can make an impact. You want to help other people transform their lives, and you really want to build something that's meaningful for yourself in the process. What I want you to understand is that your business cannot grow beyond your willingness to be seen. So, I want to take a moment to invite you to join me for this online weekend retreat that I've created. And it's called the Visible Coach this week. I'm sorry, the Visible Coach Retreat, and it's happening this week. So it starts Friday and goes through Sunday. It's online and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited about what we're going to be presenting. It's like we're going to be working with the divine feminine to help us heal our wounds around showing up and being seen. We're going to go deep into what's happening in our heart. We're going to look at old trauma, old emotional wounding, and how that's affecting us today. But we're also going to be working with the divine masculine so that we can actually build out a real business system that supports our creativity and our ideas. So, how do you know if you have a fear of being seen? Well, many of the issues that you have, you're aware of consciously. For example, you know that you don't feel great putting yourself out there because you're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of being criticized. Maybe you want everything to be perfect before you put yourself out there. You can be totally aware of that. But the thing is, most of the issues are subconscious. For example, you don't share your own deep thoughts on your Facebook page or on your blog. Like you won't actually put your own ideas out there, but you'll share everybody else's quotes. Like, I always joke and I'm like, you're quoting Dalai Lama, you're quoting this author, that author, but you won't actually write your own stuff that you will put out there. That is also a form of hiding. Like, oh, they say it better than I do. I don't have to I don't have to invest in myself. Excuse me. So you're thinking like, I don't have to invest in myself. but actually you do. And it's a form of hiding if you're sharing everybody else's quotes and not actually going out there and putting your own thoughts and ideas out there and letting people learn about you, letting people learn about, what's important to you and the great ideas that God has given you. So I know that a lot of you have never actually sat down and taken the time to articulate your own philosophy and what's important to you. I get that. And maybe you've avoided doing the work to make your brand really stand out. And I don't mean the logo. I don't mean the logo or the type style, all right? I mean the deep thought that goes into making your brand reflect the truth of who you are. Like finding that metaphor that really shows people and helps them understand who you are and what you have to offer, like to help them understand the gift that you're bringing them, right? Your brand is what separates you from other coaches and other leaders that are out there. So during the Visible Coach Retreat, we're going to be looking at all these issues and we're going to be diving deep into them and giving you solutions. We're going to, like I said, we're going to be meeting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is a really immersive experience that is going to give you four key things. You're going to get your soul aligned brand blueprint. This is where we work with the divine feminine to tune into your soul and to discover your life purpose. This is important because that's where you're going to, that's the starting point for your brand. So then we're going to work some more with the divine feminine and we're going to get your messaging down so that you can create a heart-centered coaching brand framework. So a framework is really important because it helps you bring together the language and the words and the ideas and the concepts that are matched to your ideal clients. So if your ideal client will resonate with your message, then they will more likely come into your program. And if they can't relate to your message because you've put concepts that aren't attractive to them, then they're not going to come. You're also in the retreat, you're also going to walk away with your client magnetizing content planner. Now, this is really important because this is what you'll use so that you know what posts, blogs, and videos to make. You're also going to get the six-figure business roadmap so you know exactly what steps you need to take to build your six-figure empire. And come on, we love that. You need a consistent flow of money, and money follows visibility. So a client cannot hire you as a coach if they don't know you exist. They cannot trust you as a guide if you aren't putting yourself out there. And they cannot invest in you if you are hiding in the background, waiting to feel ready before stepping into leadership. So if your business isn't making the money you want, it's not just a marketing issue, it's a visibility issue. And at the core of that is a really deep personal challenge. It's the fear of being seen. So the problem is this: you're holding back and it's costing you. Now, you might not think that you're afraid of being seen, but let's look at your actions. Do you hesitate before posting? Are you worried about what people think? Or do you just put yourself out there like, I don't care what people think. I don't care who likes it. I don't care if I even get clients from this. I'm just going to put it out there because I love it. All right. If you don't do that, you might be hiding. All right. Do you downplay your expertise? Like you keep your message a little bit vague so that you don't sound too bold. That's an issue for people. Do you hold back on making offers? Like maybe you don't even make an offer. Maybe you never tell people what you do and invite them in for a strategy call. That's a problem, and that's a form of hiding. Do you avoid showing up consistently, hoping clients will just find you without you having to put yourself out there? I have a lot of spiritual people who are like, well, God will just send me all the right people. Doesn't actually just work that way. Sure, you will sometimes get great people, but honestly, you have to do the work. All right. This is why money isn't flowing in a consistent way into your business. And this is where the real block is. If your business cannot generate income, then you're not going to be able to move forward so that you gain more confidence. It's like you're holding back. I think it's like the chicken and the egg thing. This is what's coming into my mind, but it's as if you're holding yourself back, waiting to gain more experience and gain more confidence. But in order to gain more experience and gain more confidence, you have to put yourself out there, right? So the financial struggle is not just about strategy. It's about your relationship with visibility, self-worth, and being a leader. You have to be really, really committed to being a leader. And that's why I want you to join my retreat because this is exactly what we're going to be working on. So, if you've been avoiding visibility, it's not because you're lazy or you're not cut out for this work. It's just that you don't really feel safe deep, deep down. Maybe you grew up believing that drawing attention to yourself was inappropriate or dangerous. Maybe you were told that you're too much, and that would ultimately lead you to rejection. I lived that. That was my story a lot. I was always told I was too much, and it turned people off. And so I backed down. I obviously I've obviously changed quite a bit, but this is kind of what this retreat is all about, and this is why I'm excited to teach it. I'm excited just to have these conversations because they are so important. And, maybe you've been criticized before. So the idea of stepping into the spotlight, like, really triggers old wounds around shame or self-doubt. I totally understand that one. I've gone through that as well. I've gone through all these things. That's why I've created this program because I understand these things. These are my topics, right? So, for a lot of women, there's this kind of deep generational fear around being seen and taking up space. This is a huge problem. And if you leave it unaddressed, it's definitely going to show up in your business as hesitation or avoidance or even self-sabotage. And, it's interesting because you can feel safe in somebody else's business, but when it comes to your own ownership of your own business, it's like you feel this weird shame thing, and that's a problem. Now, this kind of visibility issue will cause you to undervalue yourself, you'll undercharge, and very often you'll find yourself over delivering to compensate for feeling not enough or feeling like you need to do more, right? And that kind of stuff really weighs on you on the inside. It makes you resist doing the work. It makes you resist wanting to put yourself out there. Like, you won't want to sell, even though you know it's necessary? So I think that it's important for you to understand that your coaching business is not just about your own healing. It's about the people that you are meant to serve. And for me, this is the key. If you continue to let fear dictate your actions, you're going to not just keep yourself small, you're actually going to be denying the people who need you the opportunity to work with you. And to me, this is really, really important. Um, it's so important that I'm going to say it again because I want it to sink in on a deep level. You're denying the people who need you the opportunity to work with you. All right. So, the key to unlocking the flow of money in your business is really learning how to show up consistently, courageously, and unapologetically. That doesn't mean that you force yourself into an uncomfortable marketing strategy. It doesn't mean pretending that you're somebody that you're not, okay? I don't want you to do something that takes you so far out of your comfort zone that you feel inauthentic. But I do want you to kind of change your mindset about some things. So rather than thinking about coaching as putting yourself out there, I want you to reframe visibility as as a form of service. So your voice is not really about you, it's about the people that you're meant to help. Frame it like that, see where that takes you. I want you also to understand that the healing those wounds that make visibility feel unsafe is actually really good for your soul. And you could be healing generational trauma when you take this step. So, understanding where this fear comes from allows you to move through it instead of being controlled by it. Another thing that I really love is throwing yourself into a brand that feels authentic to you. So, meaning like you really look at what you want to create for your brand and you just throw yourself into it and wear it like, treat it like it's something you love, and then let that love shine through. So you shine the light on your brand and less on yourself. Also, I think that aligning your business with your strengths is really important. So, not every coach is great on video or on social media, and that's okay. Some coaches are really, really good with writing. My girl Eleanor Strong is wonderful with writing. She does great videos too, but she never puts her videos out like out. Like she doesn't have a YouTube channel where she's making videos all the time. She totally could, but she does everything in writing. That's her style. So finding kind of building your brand is also about finding your style. Now, practicing consistency is going to be really important for you, even when you're uncomfortable. Like, even coming onto the live stream today, we totally had technical difficulties. And, you know, Mercury goes retrograde. What are you going to do? Right? But I had to show up here. My team had to show up. We all had to deal with it, have to deal with the emotions of like, it's not working. But then you also have to like just do it anyway. Right? You get your confidence by taking action. You don't ever have to be perfect. You don't owe anybody perfection. All right? Just show up and do the best you can. All right? So I'm going to wrap it up there because I have a little bit more, but I also have to go teach my class. So I'm going to hop off here and just say thank you so much for watching. Please join the Visible Coach Retreat. There's a link here somewhere. And I look forward to seeing you again at next week. I look forward to seeing you at the live stream next week. All right. Bye for now. Bye, friends.